what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. Alright, man, back with some more hip hop. Alright, this is also like a late response to a question one of my subs asked me. Hey, man, sorry, man. Like I told you, man, I have, like, limited time to, like, try to do all these damn videos, man. Like I said, I'll be on vacation in another month, so, we'll knock these videos out. But, one of the questions that one of my subs asked me, he asked me, where do I rank Rakim as far as all-time MCing? Well, to people with most common sense about hip-hop music, if Rakim should be at least in your top 10, top 5, most people have him in their top 3. You know, I'm one of them dudes, man. If you have Rakim as number 1, you ain't gonna get no fucking argument out of me. I respect that, man. I'll put some respect on that. I don't think, to me, Rakim isn't number 1 to me, but he's up there, man. One thing about Rakim, man, him and LL Cool J, they played a big role in changing the face of rap, how you, like, you know, how you spit on the mic, and this is fact. Now, Rakim and LL Cool J were the first people that came, like, really spitting lyrics, man, like, really what you would call flowing and shit. You know, it started off with LL Cool J with Rock the Bells, and then it went on to guys like Rakim. You know, Rakim, he was a dude, whenever you heard him rap, he would command attention, man, because the funny thing about Rakim was hard as fuck, man. And the funny part about it was, Rakim didn't hardly use any profanity on his records, man. As I said before, man, you know, I wasn't really into rap like I am now, and like I grew up, like, listening to rap until I heard Rock the Bells, and then I went on to hear, you know, I Ain't No Joke by Eric B. and Rakim. I first saw that video on this local music station called Soul Beat. You only could get it, at first you could get it from Oakland to Richmond, and then it got to the point to where you only could watch it in Oakland. And that's a long story. I may do a video on Chuck Johnson and Soul Beat. That's, to be honest with you, somebody should try to put out a movie about Soul Beat. But anyway, man, yeah, it was funny when I first heard I Ain't No Joke, man. I was like, wow, I was like, man, I had to go have that shit, man. I had to have that tape. Yeah, tape. I didn't buy my first fucking CD till like 1997 or something, man. For a while, you know, back in the Bay Area, man, motherfuckers was like bumping tapes. You know what I'm saying? And the funny part about it was, I found out that it was easier to produce CDs than it was tapes. And the funny part about it is, the fucking tapes used to fuck up hella quick. Like, you know, if you didn't clean your cassette deck. But yeah, I had paid it full. You know, had the little they was on Island Records. Yeah, that paid it full was on Island Records and shit. But like I said, man, Rakim, man, he was the business, man. I mean, wordsmithing. I mean, the way he flowed, to the beat and shit. You know, Molly Marl produced that first album, and I'm gonna tell you what was the problem with Rakim, man, as his career went on and shit. You know why? You know, Rakim ain't appreciated like he should be. But yeah, Rakim, he's up there, man, with the best of them and shit. Cause like I said, him and LL Cool J took rap to another level. You know, it's sort of like when rap was like in its opening stages, you know, with the Sugar Hill Gang and, you know, Melly Mel and them guys and Ron DMC. You know, those guys, you know, how can I say this? They wasn't exactly what you call the best, like, rhymers. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, them and Curtis Blow, yes, y'all, I'm Curtis Blow, y'all. You know, the rapping and the flowing was, like, generic. You know, but guys like LL and Rakim, when they came about, they took it to a new level. But that's okay as far as the Sugar Hill Gang and Melly Mel go. It's like they laid the groundwork down. It's sort of like what happened with those black exploitation movies. They set the toll for, what black cinema now. If it wasn't for guys like Melvin Van Peebles putting out Sweetback, and, guys like Isaac Hayes playing in those black exploitation movies, who knows? They might not be a John Singleton or Antoine Fuqua and guys like that. Now, I gotta admit, man, some of them damn black exploitation movies were god-awful. I mean, Blackula was the most, at the time, I think Blackula was one of the most racist movies I ever saw in my life. Now, when he gets turned into a vampire by Dracula, he's not good enough to be called Dracula. No, he said, I'm gonna call you Blackula because you black. So, Dracula was a fucking white supremacist. Now, where they had, classics like The Mac, Superfly, Truck Turner, Black Caesar, Cotton Comes to Harlem, Sweetback's Badass Song. They had, Dr. Blacko and Miss Dr. Blacko. Dr. Blacko, and then you had this, it was some movie with, some of them were very bad, man. Then they had, the Black Godfather, that wasn't that good. Some of them movies were lousy. Black Belt Jones. Some of them movies just was god-awful. But they had to be done. They had to be made. My OG homie, he broke that down for me because, I was just talking about that and I was like, man, some of them black exploitation movies was like really terrible. And he told me, he said, well, they was, but he said, somebody had to do them. He said, look, if those didn't get made, then who knows what happens? If those movies didn't get made, who knows? There wouldn't be no Tyler Perry. In some instances, I wish there wasn't no Tyler Perry or no Lee Daniels. I kind of wish they wouldn't have came about, because I don't like either one of them niggas. But getting back to rap, sorry I digress a little bit, but I'm just connecting the dots. What I'm saying is what happened with Rakim. Rakim laid the groundwork. He took rapping to the next level, then that opened up the door for the other guys to kick it down. The KRS-Ones, the Big Daddy Kanes, all those type of dudes. Yeah, so he did a lot. And like I said with Rakim, man, it's a shame what happened with his career, man, because sort of like after Paid in Full, that's pretty much it. Follow the Leader, that was okay, and then Let the Rhythm Hit You, that was okay. But the problem is with Rakim, unfortunately, he was a great rapper, great lyricist, but his production didn't follow him. Even when Rakim put out the solo albums, they wasn't just up to par, not for a guy like him. And the funny part about it was Rakim's solo career just could never take off the ground. I remember he made a double album, it wasn't that good. And I think that's what happened with him. Like I said, there's guys like the Sugar Hill Gang and whatnot, they laid down the groundwork, but then Rakim sort of put the shovel in and started digging. And then, like I said, him and LL and a couple of other guys, they open up the gate for the other dudes to come through. So they kick down the door and shit, and that's fine. But one of the things that really pissed me off, man, and I'm not pointing the finger at nobody. When there was a rumor, that Rakim was going to work with Dr. Dre, and Dr. Dre was going to do Rakim's whole album. Because, Rakim was supposed to be signed to Aftermath. And I'm going to tell you, that shit had hip-hop buzzing. I'm talking about the whole rap industry was buzzing. Motherfuckers was excited. Oh, Rakim finna work with Dr. Dre? Dr. Dre, one of the greatest hip-hop producers ever? I'm talking about motherfuckers was buzzing. And then, unfortunately, the album never came to fruition because whatever happened between Dr. Dre, and Rakim, the album never surfaced. You know, I heard they clashed over creative differences where they wanted the album to go, and that's unfortunate, man. Very unfortunate. You know, and as I said before, I'm not saying it's Rakim's fault. I'm not saying it's Dr. Dre's fault. I'm just saying the shit just was fucked up, because I feel like Rakim would have finally had the type of music that he had that would have showed people how good he was. Because unfortunately, Rakim, as I said before, he just didn't have those super producers. Can you imagine how good Rakim would have been if he would have got the Swiss Beats, the Pete Rocks, the you know what I'm saying? The guys like you know, Premier, you know, those type of dudes. And he just, you know, or the Timberlands, all those type of dudes. He never got a chance to work with those type of Jermaine Dupri guys. Can you imagine how good Rakim would have been? He would have truly probably established himself at best, at least top 3. But unfortunately, as I said before, he never just could get that production. And that hurt him. But yeah, man, that's my thoughts on Rakim. Rakim is up there, man. He's an all-time great, man. But anyway, let me know what you guys think, man. I'm out.